Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 3DO Experience, the 3DO Retrospective Podcast, where we talk about all things 3DO, the company, the console, and everything in between. I am Bill, and this is Thrak. How you doing, Thrak?
Oh, Bill, I am just waiting to stuff my face with Thanksgiving food. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not tired for once. It's a short week. I have one more day of work, and then Thanksgiving. It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna feel like shit for an entire day after, while everyone goes psychotic buying shit outside because that's just what Black Friday is. um,
It hasn't been that way, I think, since COVID, really.
Last
Because
year was the first year where it kind of was starting to pick up again, I noticed.
okay, because I haven't gone out to do Black Friday shopping since like sometime in the 2010s, really. Usually, I just usually because I was like busy working and doing other stuff, I would just wait until things calmed down, so it was better. And rarely did I ever see a deal that was like worth fighting people for.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, this TV's like $20 or whatever. I'm like, my TV's fine. I'm not really in the market for a TV at the moment.
See, me and a couple of my friends, once we got our licenses and like we're actually able to go out, back in the day, we used to like on Black Fridays just go around to the department stores and like find people's stashes and just move them around on them. Just the
Just
troll.
fuck with people, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
fair
because
enough.
we'll be looking in like the little hiding place to be like, someone had some stuff stashed here. Let's go move it to the other side of the store now.
You pissed off a lot of people. Good for
Oh
you.
yeah. It was, I mean, it's psychotic behavior as it is. So I'm just like, we might as well.
Oh yeah. The one time I did it, it was just my mom needing essentially backup. I was essentially that. So like we got there and you probably remember where they would just like have the merchandise like kind of laid out on the floor, and they would have like employees in front of it until like the time started to where you could do it, and there'd be people right up to it like touching it, thinking like
First
like
dibs.
first
Yeah.
dibs, finders keep that thing, and that place was just so packed and so fucking nuts, and I was just like, this is stupid. Like I just never really understood it. And then when COVID happened, it just completely died. Well, and if you think about the Black Friday deals over the last couple years, they start like the week before and then just go into December basically,
Yeah.
and they're just not what they used to be. So
It's
it
more.
doesn't hit the same way. I think Cyber Monday is probably the bigger one, because anytime I try to use the internet, then it just like crashes on me.
Yeah. I should really just like pop into Costco this year and just see because I'm sure that place is still that place is like a lot to begin with, so I'm pretty sure
Oh
on
yeah.
Friday it's probably a hellhole more so than usual.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, it could be picking up, Walmart might be nuts, but
I mean,
I
I
just
have actually seen people fighting over a TV before, and it's
Oh,
the fun.
I've seen it too. Yeah. I feel like we're at that point where it's been so many years since it happened, like not that many in the grand scheme of things, but it feels like it, to where I think some people got nostalgic for it. Being like, "Oh, it was like a crazy chaotic time." And I'm like, "We all talked about how stupid it was." Like
Yeah,
nobody genuinely liked it. People just did it because they wanted the deals, and half the time it was for themselves, not for other people. They
yeah.
should put the groceries on Black Friday sale. How about that?
That'd be. I would hate that. Like, imagine going to the fucking grocery store and just getting like body slammed for a fucking jug of milk. Like,
Well, the prices have been getting so high,
I know, right? Uh, yeah,
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but yeah. Yeah, no Black Friday shopping for me. I don't even bother doing any of it. I just, I don't care. I don't want to think about Christmas until we're past Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Like
That's just.
I just and the fact I have to see it bugs the shit out of me. I'm like, guys,
There's
can we just like wait till the 1st of December, please? Can you just wait till the 1st?
the 1st of December, or at the very least, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then it's I deal with it.
Yeah,
I
because
I don't miss working retail where like,
yeah,
Christmas is something you deal with like the week of Halloween, up to January basically.
I'm already seeing like houses fully decked out with Christmas stuff. I'm like, guys, like,
Oh, there's always those. Yeah, there's a guy who's a couple houses down from me where he like goes all out with like the lights and everything. But I think he does like a Toys for Tots program. Like he has a big bucket in the front, and then his lights sync up to a specific radio station.
That's
So
cool.
every year people will just park in front of his house and then just turn to the radio station and just listen to the music while his lights go off. Like, it is cool. I've done it.
Hmm.
It is a cool time. So and he's doing it for like charity and all that stuff. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, we had a guy in my hometown. He had one of those like days till Christmas signs, and he would always put it up like stupidly early every year. And it got to the point where everyone complained so hard that like the year after he left it out and just reset it on the day after Christmas. I was like, I saw that. I'm like, you know what, sir? Well played.
It's his lawn. Just let him do it.
It
Whatever.
was just so funny. He was just like, you know what? Screw you guys. It's staying up year round now.
364 days till Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah. Though I've seen driving around a little bit, I've seen some like mixing of Halloween and Christmas. I can get behind that. Like there was this one house that I saw where they had like, those like giant like 10, 20 feet 50 feet skeletons or whatever the fuck, like the real big ones, and they had put like Santa hats and beards on them. And I'm like, I can fuck with that. Yeah. Like if you're gonna buy those, like just have them up all year and then just swap the holiday decorations.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Oh yeah. I've seen some people do that little mixing, and I can get behind that, because there's not really anything Thanksgiving themed. Like I like, what would it be? I don't know, scalping a Native American?
Turkeys everywhere.
I guess like the pilgrim shit. I don't the smallpox blanket. I don't know.
Turkeys, pumpkins, and food. Cornucopias. That's about it.
A fat guy sitting in a lazy boy recliner watching football. That's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I just think of
that'll be me. That'll be me.
I'll be driving to back home with Alex. Might watch The Last Waltz. We usually do that every year.
Oh, cool.
Because it was on Thanksgiving. So
yeah.
Or maybe I'll marathon the Friends Thanksgiving episodes or something. That's usually what I do. But
yeah, my brother's doing it this year, so it's gonna show up, eat food, and then leave.
Yeah,
that's great. I love that
for us.
It's how I am. It's how I love to be. So,
before we get into
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say before we get into any further, I did want to just shout out the second part of our Army Men Sergeants Heroes crossover came out today. Go check out Remember 64. They just put out their newest episode. We guested on, and we can get the second half of the Sergeants Heroes crossover. So be sure to check.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anybody who enjoyed our Sergeants Heroes 1, go to Remember 64 and watch Sergeants Heroes 2. They have a lot more production value than we do.
They sure do.
No, Dave really needs to invest in like an ad blocker or paying for like YouTube Premium or something like that.
I thought it was funny.
It is funny, but like for me, if I was producing that would bug the shit out of me.
The funniest part of that to me was the when we were looking at the website for the that N64 console thing. I already forgot the name of it.
Oh, the Analog 3D?
Yeah, the Analog 3D. We were on that website, and there was just like this like big titty anime girl like video game on the sidebar, and I'm like, what game is this? I need to know. And it's exactly what I
expected. You do.
Well, I was like, is this one of those mobile phone things? I'm like, yep, it's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, it's exactly what you thought. Yeah, some mobile gotcha thing with big titty anime girls. That seems to be the hot thing these days.
Yep.
Not for me. But speaking of the hot things, news. Let's see. Not a crazy huge amount of news. So, like literally, I kind of had to scrape to find some stuff. The first one I saw is I guess they're making a Far Cry TV series. I believe it's the series order for the show has been placed by FX with plans to air it as an anthology series where each season will be set in a different location and have a different cast of characters. It'll also stream on Hulu and Disney Plus, and it stars Rob Mack, the creator of It's Always Sunny.
Oh,
so I don't know how you do an anthology series but have somebody starring in it, unless he's going to be like the Rod Serling, or he's just going to be like the star of the first season. So that says to me, if this thing actually does anything, they have. They could do like 7 some odd seasons. Like, how many Far Cry games are there? 6 mainline ones. And then there's Primal. There's what, New Dawn, which
Yeah,
is that a spin-off of one of them?
I lost track at 4, honestly.
Fair enough. I tend to get them mixed up in my head. I played a bit of Far Cry 1 like a very long time ago. I think I had like it was either the Xbox or the Xbox 360 port, like Far Cry Instincts or Instincts Predator, one of those, right? I had that for a little bit and played it and wasn't sure about it. And then I played a decent amount of 4. I liked 4. 4 was fun.
See, 4, I will.
I technically beat it because.
See,
Oh, go ahead.
4 is the one I always remember because I will always remember the E3 during Sony's conference. They had that like macho guy like presenting it, and I always remember because he gets up on stage, he's like, "Are you guys ready to play some Far Cry 4?" Like,
I may vaguely remember that. Like
he
it
was
rings a
like,
tiny bell in my head.
he was so deadpan, just like, "Far Cry 4, ready to play?" Yeah, this game's awesome, and I'm just like, I'm like, really selling it, bud.
Yeah, whatever.
You can play it on your Vita. Like,
Can you play that on your Vita?
I think so.
Was it like was Far Cry 4 a PS? That was PS4 game, right? Isn't it? Wasn't it?
I think it was like you could remote play it. Like you could use the
yeah,
the Vita as a remote.
Yeah, because I remember they were doing that for a little bit, like the remote play with the Vita, but I thought that was just for PS3.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But Far Cry 4, I technically beat it because there's that famous bit at the start of the game where like, you meet the villain and you're hanging out with him and he's like, "Hey, just wait here for a couple minutes. I'll be right back." And then that's when you're supposed to like sneak off and start doing the Far Cry shit. But if you just hang there for like 5-10 minutes or whatever, he comes back. He's like, "Oh, you're still here? Well, come on, let's go do what we got to do." And then like he takes you to like, I think it's your mother's grave, like you're going there to mourn her or whatever. You do that, and then you get back in his copter, and he's like, "Hey, we're just gonna go like do some cool shit," and the credits roll. It's like, so I beat it technically.
I love like rant. I love like where you can like subvert expectations in games. Like my favorite is like still Super Paper Mario, where if you refuse to take on the quest, you just can't get a game over, and it's like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I like that stuff. So that's really the extent of my Far Cry knowledge. I've been wanting to play I really want to play 2 because I've heard a lot of good things about 2. Primal, because Primal's like, I remember when they were first showing that, it was like, so it's like the weird caveman one. And I was like, that looks interesting. It didn't get great reviews at the time, but I think some people have come around to it saying it's a bit of an underrated type of a game. Well, there's the famous 3 Blood Dragon expansion or whatever. That's like 3, but it's like 80s Tron shit or something like that. I don't really know. Like it's a series I've been wanting to like actually spend some legitimate time with, but I don't think a TV show is going to do that for me. Because like it's an interesting idea, I think, for a TV show. Because there is like enough story and characters there that you could probably make it work. But is anybody going to care?
That's the thing. I'm getting a little bit worried with all these TV shows because I feel like we had a couple that were really successful. Like the Fallout one did really well.
Yeah,
and
the Last of Us one's done one. Yeah.
And now like they're like every game has to have a TV show now. And I'm just like, guys, you're gonna burn this out real quick.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I feel like this isn't a complete fuck up.
No,
like
yet, but it is
like the idea of like Far Cry TV show. Like I see how that makes sense. Like conceptually, I see it. But is it gonna hit? I doubt it. I mean, I like Rob. I love It's Always Sunny. So, but my guess is he's probably been like playing some of the games in the series and went, this would be interesting to do for a show. Even though I don't think that's the story is necessarily what people go to Far Cry for, but I'm not sure. So I don't know. But then looking at the little article, I was reminded, I'm sure that this isn't the first time they tried to do something like this with Far Cry. Do you remember the infamous Uwe Boll Far Cry?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I never saw it. I just remember that wasn't like Stuttering Craig and Handsome Tom or get cameos in that movie.
Yeah.
That's all I really know it for. That's back when they were a thing.
Well, yeah, before Craig unmasked and I don't know whatever the hell happened to
Yeah.
Tom, but
I think Tom just he just left the internet, just became a dude. So good for him.
yeah, pretty
You know,
much.
I thought I had heard that he opened a restaurant down in the where Dallas, Texas area where they are. So maybe he's still doing that.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know. And then yeah, Craig just kind of became terminally online dad.
Yeah, which sucks.
I haven't thought about him in a while.
I'll pop in every now and then just see what they're doing. I'm always like, God damn it, guys! Like, so
More of
bad.
the same, more of the same,
Yeah,
anti woke slop.
it's like, okay, guys, I get it.
Is he advertising his real game awards again? Is he bringing that back
I haven't seen
for a
that,
second
so
round?
I doubt it.
Hopefully he learned his lesson on that. So
They're just he's just recycling whatever drama slops going on now.
yeah, and it's just I just right now I don't care.
I was just so bummed because I liked what he was doing at first, like when he first came back. And
Yeah,
then
it was nice. It was nice to see him come back, and he just seemed like a wholesome dude who was just happy to be back, interviewing people and looking back at old Screw Attack stuff. And it's like, oh, this is fine. Some nostalgia baiting. Why not? But then, yeah, it went hard right turn, and I'm using right specifically. Probably just because he was like, oh, if I'm gonna do this as a career again, he needs some consistent things to talk about.
yeah,
I don't necessarily again, he's one of those mini grifters where it's like, I don't know if he actually believes any of this shit. My guess is he probably doesn't. There's been
I don't know.
stories about a lot of these real bad right wing media personality people that as soon as you turn the camera off, they're just they're just chill, normal people. They're not really that nuts, which is okay, but that makes me think of them worse because it's so you're just peddling this shit because you just need to make a living, which
Yeah,
so it's you're ruining this country just to make a buck. That sucks, man. That's even worse.
yeah.
So
It's
I don't know. I don't know. I don't need to get too deep in it. We're just talking about Far Cry.
that's why I stopped. That's basically why I stopped following his stuff. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, this Far Cry show, we'll see. I don't know if I'll ever watch it, but yeah, who knows? It could be a thing. Who knows? So in fact, I don't think do we know anything about the next Far Cry game?
I haven't heard about anything.
Okay, so the last one was a couple years ago now. Hold on. When was Far Cry 6? That was 2021. So it's been a while. Who knows? Ubisoft's in a weird place anyway. So, but Far Cry is a series they would definitely keep going. That's one of their bigger franchises. So, anyways, so you remember when EA agreed to that Saudi Arabia deal? Well, apparently, the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund is reportedly running low on cash for new investments due to some of its projects being in financial distress. That includes numerous investments in the video game industry, including stakes in publishers like Take-Two and Nintendo, and the recent $55 billion deal to take control of Electronic Arts. So, what a shocker. Somebody who, this country who's, doing all of this horrible dumb shit that they're doing, apparently they're running out of money.
They need 4 more F1 races.
That'll solve everything. Yeah. Well, I don't need to get into the whole thing of what Saudi Arabia is doing right now. It's pretty bad. And yes, because they have all the oil and everything, they should be just fine, but there is some issues with that currently as to why they can't just tap into that to get more money. So it's a whole thing and it sucks. And who knows, maybe when this investment fund dies, maybe EA dies with it. And that it would be weird to live in a post EA world. It would feel weird.
Yeah.
Because then it's what do you do?
Well, how it'll die, and then how quick until someone buys the name and brings it right back?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Because I mean, that's basically what happened with THQ.
But then you'd have to think about, because EA has those big deals with the NFL and like if they were to die, how would that work? Because I get the sense that the NFL has gotten real comfy with the EA Madden stuff, being like, we just have one game, it's that. They don't they do give the license out for other things, and some companies do stuff with that.
Hmm.
But I think EA just the NFL just feels real comfortable just being like, this is our game. They feel very like intertwined, regardless of the quality. But again, I think the people associated with that internally don't really care. It
No.
doesn't matter. It makes money. So,
Yeah.
but that is what it is. Let's see what else. Apparently, Valve, they've confirmed that the Steam machine will be priced like a PC with the same level of performance. So they are not subsidizing the price of it like, say, you would a console. So the more I'm hearing about this, talking about the price without naming a specific number, excuse me, the more I'm like, oh man, this thing's going to be really expensive and it's not going to sell as well as they're hoping.
Yeah, because I've already heard from multiple people if that's how it's gonna be. Most people like just buy a PC at that point.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, again, it feels like they're killing the Steam machine before it even arrives. Like, again, I know it's not necessarily a console, but the way you advertise this thing and showed it, the aesthetics and everything, it gives off the vibe of a console. And I think it would do better if you priced it that way. But
Yeah, because
like if this thing's gonna be like $800-$900, like it's not gonna sell.
just buy a PS4, 5, or a Series or Switch 2. Like,
Yeah, seriously, or just spend a couple extra bucks and get
yeah,
a PC. Like I know, like components for PCs keep going up and up, and I've heard like next year might be really bad for that. So me with this idea of building a PC is becoming further and further of a dream, because if everything's just going to keep getting expensive, then it's like I'm just not going to bother.
I'm at the point now where I'm actually considering like doing a pre-built and then just gradually upgrading it as I go.
I mean, that's what I would do. Is just find like a real good mid-level pre-built for like under $900 or something like that.
Affordable, yeah.
Yeah, something affordable that's like, it's not the most crazy thing in the world, but it'll get the job done on most things, and then just, as you said, just upgrade it over time.
Hmm.
Because with a pre-built, you get warranty, you get tech support, all that good stuff, that you don't get with building one. And yeah, like building one's cool, but it's become this like deified thing. It like the idea of building a PC, like you used to do it because it was cheaper,
Yeah.
but it has now this like sort of grand idea around her. It's become this like thing that's like, it's not a secret anymore. Like it used
See,
to be a secret to getting like to getting good PC performance for a good price, was like, oh, you could just build it yourself and just kind of figure it out. But now like everybody does it, so companies are realizing that and just jacking up the prices on
yep.
their components, because my guess is they're probably selling components separately more than just pre-built PCs. So it sounds like we might be getting to a point where you might be better off just getting a pre-built, because there's a chance they might be selling them at a slightly lower cost because they're not going out the door.
I'm pretty sure too. This will piss off the PC master race people, whatever. I'm pretty sure most pre-builts are fine. Like I'm sure
Yeah,
they have their
I,
problems, but
I feel like a lot of, I could be wrong on this, but I feel like a lot of PC people don't really frown on pre-builts, because it's like,
no, it's just it's that small. It's like the freaking Xbox fanboys and the PS5 fanboys, the ones that are really loud and obnoxious. They're like this
yeah,
tiny little percentage.
like you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, but yeah, when we see the price, the proper price of the Steam machine, like the official MSRP, I'll probably use that number and be like, okay, what kind of PC can I get for that price? And if I get something that's, say a pre-built that's a little bit, that's comparable or maybe even slightly better, but with that thing you can upgrade it over time, whereas the Steam machine you do not have the ability to do that,
Hmm.
it might just be the better investment. So,
Yeah,
but I imagine we won't see that price properly until sometime next year.
yeah.
Like
That's what I
I
was
don't
thinking.
see them like unveiling the price of like the Game Awards or something like that. Like I don't think so. They're like, that would be a weird thing to do there anyway, because if they unveil the price and it's like high, people are just going to boo it. And you don't
Yeah,
want that. Like if people are going to give you shit, you don't want it like a immediate reaction to that.
Like
You know?
some of the most iconic award show or like presentation moments are always like bad price reveals. So it's like,
Yeah, and Valve are smarter than that, and I feel like they're just looking at the market and probably seeing like, hey, what is the cheapest we can sell this thing and be okay.
I wonder if they're
That
trying
would
to
be
sell it.
my like. I don't think they're gonna hike it and have it be a terrible price. I don't think they're gonna do that, but I think they're gonna see like, okay, what's the market look like, and what can we get away with that most people would be fine with and wouldn't hurt them in the end. You
Yeah,
know?
it's one of those things where it's like they're probably going to be like very realistic with the price, but it's just kind of a point where like with what they're trying to go for, it's probably not going to be worth it in the long run.
Yeah, it's again, it's such a good idea, but I just have a feeling it's just not going to work out. But I feel like it's going to get botched in the same way the old Steam machines were, but for
Yeah.
completely different reasons. Like Valve fixed everything this time around, but again, that pricing is going to be the problem, I think. So,
It's kind of like
but you will see the weird Valve people because
oh
Valve
yeah,
has their like Steam has its fanboys in the same way the consoles do,
oh yeah,
and they'll defend it. They'll find things to defend about it, and be like, oh, it's better because it plays everything and you could do all this stuff, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but like again, if it's like $1,000, it's like, dude, I could probably get a PC that does all that, if not more, for less than that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's one of those things where it's kind of like
it
okay, we're
worries
gonna have
me.
to wait and see. Basically,
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see, and when we find out, I'll let you all know. Which again, it's a shame because I'm like the target demographic for that thing.
I think the best way to describe it is like it's like I get it, but I don't really like it.
Mhm. Like I feel like it'd probably be cheaper to just get like a Steam Deck and then get a dock for it to treat it
Yeah,
like a Switch. So who knows? Maybe I'll just end
yeah,
up getting the Steam Deck instead.
yeah.
So if you guys remember, like the Silent Hill 2 remake came out, it's
Mhm.
a PS5 console exclusive, and it was looking great. I was like, I'll just wait to get that on my Xbox, right? And I was waiting, thinking eventually they would do something about it. It's out. They just like shadow dropped it on the Xbox store like just a couple days, like 4 days ago or something like that. Like there was no trailer, no announcement, nothing.
Oh, it's like when
Because
Square just like shadow dropped 16 on PC and just were like, yeah, so
yeah, like usually, like the like Xbox would say like have a little trailer on the YouTube channel for it, because I sub to that to see if anything wacky happens. And yeah, there wasn't even anything like that. I saw it somewhere else, or someone's like, oh, I think Silent Hill 2 remakes on Xbox now, and then I went and looked, and I'm like, yeah, there it is. And so it currently, well, it had a 50% discount. I forget what it actually goes for. Here, let me find out real quick. Should have had this pulled up earlier. Ah, there it is. Gotta wait for everything to load. It's all slow as shit. Okay, so I don't know why I got the Australian version. The hell? What are you guys doing? Doesn't make any sense.
um,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting that. Hold on, but yeah, but it's on. I guess it's still on its 50% discount. Like I think it was normally. I think it's like 50, $60 or something like that, and it's yeah right now like 35. So
so according to Amazon, the list price is 50.
oh okay, here it is. Yeah, so it's 70, but it's on sale right now for 35. So there you go.
Huh,
It being 70 is great. Was it 70 when it came out? It must have been.
probably.
Yeah. And there is a bundle of it with Silent Hill F, which the two of them is like $100, which isn't a terrible price considering it.
No.
Because again, both games I do actually want to play. So, but I did not buy it this time because I can't just be willingly spending money all the time. So
Uh-huh.
I have to hold out on that one. But yeah, it's there. So hopefully I'll get to play it. Hopefully I'll play it sometime next year. So that sounds like the plan. Because I do want to play it. I played the original Silent Hill 2, loved it. So I'm curious to what this remake does.
Hmm.
Let's see. The other thing I have is an indie dev withdraws their nomination from the Game Awards. So, as the game Megabonk, the developers of that, it was nominated for, I think it was, for like best indie game. And it got, and let's see, Vendinad, the solo developer of Megabonk, shared the news on their social channels, noting that they previously worked on games under a different name, so they feel their nomination shouldn't qualify. They were listed as best debut indie game. And they're like, oh, because I've done other things, I feel like it doesn't qualify. So, I mean, it's still there, they didn't officially pull it, but it feels like Megabonk is saying, hey, just take your vote and put it somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting. It's a very interesting thing to do. But if I remember, I think it was last year we had that controversy with the indie game category anyways with Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dave the Diver's not an indie game technically, but people asked Jeff Keighley about it, and he just said, oh, it has 2D graphics. Why wouldn't it be an indie game? Like he basically said it just looks like an indie game.
It's like I like Jeff, but at the same time, he says some stupid fucking shit sometimes.
Yeah. I've said it before. Like, I don't dislike Jeff Keighley. I think he's like I think he genuinely loves video games. Like he's been in the industry forever. Like he used to like write for like magazines back in the day. So I feel like he has a genuine love for the industry and just wants to help it in any way that he can. But yeah, he has a tendency to put his foot in his mouth sometimes.
Like for every like really awesome like Mass Effect interview he has, he also has like an interview where he'll just say something stupid. I'll be like, God damn it, Jeff.
Yeah, that's just kind of how he is. But we've had our issues with the Game Awards over the years, and I feel like this year's not going to be any different. So
I mean, we're all still going to watch, and we're all still going to laugh, and then have a somewhat enjoyable time, I guess.
Well, we watch because we want to see what announcements there are. That's really it. Because, we had the big announcement span in the summer, and then fall tends to, things tend to shrivel up, and then we get into the winter and there's not really much of anything. So the Game Awards just feel like that bit to see like, oh, what's coming? Got any updates on anything? That kind of stuff. And then the awards are nice to see. And then everything else, people just don't give a shit.
I'm sure
like the music performances are nice. I like all that stuff, but like that's not what I'm here for. You know?
I'm sure we'll probably in one of the channels riff on it again, like we did years last year.
Oh yeah. We'll probably in one of the Discords we'll hop in and just yell at it. So that'll be fun. And then our last bit of news, weirdly enough, it wasn't in the VGC, but you brought it up, and I thought it was, and it definitely is important to bring up. Bandai Namco announces the Tales of Berseria remaster coming in February of 2026 for the PS5, the Xbox Series, the Switch, and the PC. So previously, this game was only available on PlayStation 4 and PC. That was it.
Yes.
So this is them basically, putting it everywhere, giving it a nice fancy update. Here's a quote. This remaster brings new quality of life updates, such as destination icons, encounter toggling, and early grade shop access that will ease the journey of new players in this classic action JRPG. The game also includes the downloadable content from the original, featuring character costumes, bonus items, and other fan favorite extras.
Yep. Fun fact, it's also the censored version that was released in the US. But what makes it fun is that Japan is also getting the censored version.
What did they censor?
It's one of the outfits. It's something, or no. It's not even an outfit. There is a point in the game in the Japanese version where one of the characters, like a child, gets straight up fucking like stabbed like straight through the chest. It's very graphic. In the US version, it's toned down, so it's not as graphic. It's honestly it's a nothing change, but of course you say censorship and the fucking internet loses its shit, even though most of them probably weren't even aware it was
I mean,
essentially. Yeah.
if that's the only thing, doesn't seem like that big a deal.
I mean, have you seen? I don't know if you have, but if you look at the main character's design, she's like barely wearing any clothes as it is. It's not like they said something.
Yeah, she seems like a booba. What's her name? People seem to really like her though.
Oh, Velvet's great.
Velvet,
Her
yeah,
her
yeah.
design aside, she's the technically the second main. Well, she's the first like like sole female protagonist because technically Mila and Zelia was the first, but you chose either Mila or Jude, and technically Jude's playthrough makes more sense.
Yeah.
But she was by default the protagonist for this game, and she's just a great character. She's honestly one of the best protagonists in the series. Like she
Oh
actually
yeah,
gives
yeah, yeah.
she gives Yuri a run for his money. So
Yeah, like the thing is, every single remaster they've done, with the exception of Symphonia, are all games that I genuinely want to play because it feels like this remaster campaign is them going through the catalog and being like, okay, these were the ones people really liked. Let's remaster them and bring them out as like, here are the definitive games to play in the series. So you don't have to go shumbling through, ROM sites and the internet being like, is this one worth playing? Is this one? I don't fucking know. Like, that's what it feels like that they're doing. Being like,
interestingly
here are
enough,
the ones to do, and that they're a little easier to do than some others.
yeah, like interestingly enough too, I found out most of these remasters have actually been handled by other companies. Symphonia being the exception, and it shows.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm curious. The reason why Berseria has been kind of a bit of a wet fart of a reaction, as they say, is mostly because the majority of people who played it, it's still playable via the PS4 on PS5.
Yeah. I get that.
The the thing that a lot of them are missing is the fact that there is a lot of people who didn't get to play it.
Yeah,
Um,
like I feel this remaster, even though it comes off as like I think pointless to some people, I think it being on new storefronts and getting that like new spotlight, again, it feels like this remaster project is sort of canonizing the ones. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I don't think I don't think doing this one is necessarily bad. You
it's not
know?
bad. It's just I think the reason why it got such a negative kind of like humdum kind of response was mostly just because the Abyss fanboys are very upset because their game didn't get announced. It's coming,
But that's
guys.
you. You're speaking in third person. That's
No,
you.
I wasn't even
You're one of
upset.
the Abyss fanboys.
I wasn't even upset. I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
but you are one of the Abyss
Well,
fanboys.
I'm being realistic about it. I know for a fact Abyss is going to be harder because it's old. It's not going to be the easiest thing to port.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And Berseria was probably the easiest one
oh, yeah,
to
that's
do.
why it got announced. It was just kind of
Yeah,
the case where most people were probably thinking Zelia 2 more, which I'm sure is in the works. They
it
probably
probably is. Yeah, that makes sense.
The only thing though is now everyone's realizing, oh no, they're gonna port Zestria, and everyone's very not happy about that because no one likes that game.
I don't know. Like I found this like Polygon article where it says quote, the title is I can't believe Tales of Berseria is getting remastered before Tales of the Abyss,
I can't.
which again, like it says everyone's favorite entry, which I think is not accurate.
No, Abyss is a fan favorite, but it's also one of the more divisive entries.
Yeah, like here's a quote from the article. Although the remastered version slated for next year will make Tales of Berseria even more accessible by adding it to the libraries of other platforms and hopefully fix some of the localization errors in the post-game quests, it's already pretty accessible. The biggest appeal of the 30th anniversary project is bringing titles that are almost impossible to play nowadays. Despite how good Berseria is, you can easily get it in a Steam sale or boot up the PS4 version on the PS5 and enjoy the game. Considering the Tales of series started in 1995 with Tales of Fantasia, there are several titles that could more meaningfully benefit from the time, energy, and financial support required. And then it says everyone's favorite entry, Tales of the Abyss, should unquestionably be the focus now. Considered one of the best titles in the long-running series, Abyss is now available only to those fortunate enough to have the 3DS version or the PS2 one. Take any list of best Tales game, and you will see the story of Luc von Fabry
Luke Von Fabre.
appear in the top 3 in most cases, which again, I agree with that. Like, I think Abyss is one of those weird games that just kind of fell through the cracks.
It was on the. It's funny because everyone loved Symphonia, and all the
Yeah.
people that love Symphonia were GameCube people, so they just kind of
Yeah.
ignored it.
So, like, yeah, just. And then Symphonia did get a PS2 port, but that was in Japan.
Yep. Well, it's funny.
So,
The actual two fan favorites are Symphonia and Vesperia, the
yeah.
two that were exclusive to non-PlayStation consoles for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
probably
And
because,
Vesperia got its remastered definitive edition way before this ever happened.
well, if anything, I've always said I think Vesperia is the one that fucking everyone loves. Like,
Again,
because,
we keep talking about it. It's the one I want to play.
well, because
Like all the way through.
Vesperia is the easiest to pick up. It has great gameplay. The arguably the best main character in the series.
Yeah, like I've played first like couple hours of the game, and it's great.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome. Love it.
And there's no bullshit. There's no bullshit to the story. It's very straightforward. There's no added nonsense. Like,
yeah, and I love the like action type combat to it as well. Like I find that to be like really fun and entertaining, and the way the game is set up, like Tales definitely has its appeal, and I feel like if I eventually just like kick myself in the ass and say, okay, actually go sit down and play these games, I'd probably fall in love with all of them. Because what I've played of Symphonia, what I've played of Vesperia over the years, I think both of them are genuinely fantastic games.
oh yeah,
It's just I don't know. I struggle with longer games because usually I'm busy doing other things and then doing all this podcast shit, and I have to focus on these content games. Trying to play bigger games like that just kind of fall to the wayside because I have other things to do. So
see,
but that's my fault. I'm not blaming anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
It's just me. It's just me and my stupid brain.
I've always said, because I'm like one of the bigger Tales fanboys out there. Me and Chris probably are the two biggest.
Oh yeah, and Beth.
Beth, yeah, true. I haven't talked to her enough to really know her full extent, but
well, she had mentioned Tales of the Abyss before, and I'm like, oh fuck you too.
Well, this is the thing about Abyss, and this is somewhat of my fear when it does eventually get re-released. I'm sure I have a strange feeling a lot of the people that are clamoring for it have never actually played it. And we're gonna get this new, like a second wave.
It's a Mother 3 situation.
Yeah. My only thing is I'm convinced we're gonna get like a second wave of people who play the first like hour and they're like, this fucking main character is the most unlikable piece of shit in video game history. Why do people like this game? And I'm like, guys, you have to get it. It takes a while. His development is the entire point of the game. Like he's supposed to be an unlikable piece of shit.
Yeah.
The first half of the game.
Yeah, but I think just the easy I think I've mentioned it before, but the easy reason why they haven't done Abyss is because it's on the PS2 and the 3DS. Like there isn't an HD version of that game to base a remaster off of like the other ones.
Yeah.
Like with Graces, with Xillia, with Symphonia, Vesperia, Berseria now. Like they all have had an HD release at some point. So they just go there, clean it up, add some extra shit. Bada boom, $40, please. And I think this is going to be $40 as well. So, it's the easy thing to do, which people would say is, quote unquote lazy, but like, sure. But I think the that effort that you need to put into that, it's going to cost a lot more. And I don't know how well the Tales series sells. I have no idea. So
it's been higher lately, but it's never been a mega seller.
Yeah, but I do think it is worth doing. Like I think Tales of the Abyss is a game that is worth going back and doing like a proper HD remake of it.
Yeah.
But one thing I just thought about is if they try to remake it in the style of like these remasters of these HD games to where it just kind of naturally fits in with them, like it looks like an HD PS3 game or something. Would people be upset with that?
Depends on how much they mess with the gameplay, how much they change story wise, and do they bring back the voice cast, which I have doubts about.
Yeah, it's. I guarantee you they've brought it up and they've talked about it, and it just sounds like it is more daunting of a task to do than, you know, going and cleaning up Berseria and porting it to Switch and Xbox. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
a far easier, less financially troublesome thing to do. You know, like and the weird thing is in this article, like right after that, something that they said is, you know, they said next, in order to make this project a complete homage to the series, I'd love to see a Tales of Fantasia remaster in the same capacity.
Good luck with that.
Now, yeah, because the issue with that one is I've played a bit of Fantasia, and I feel like most Tales fans these days have probably never played that game. And if they went back and played it, they would say, "What is this bullshit?" You know,
Did you play the
the piece.
GBA or
Like,
the Super Nintendo?
I have the GBA version.
GBA version is a bad port. I'm gonna say that
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It was like it has all the pieces that the Tales series has later in. Like I see the connections and everything, but it's definitely one of those. I'm like, ooh, this would be tough. Even if the Famicom version is better, and it probably is. Like I feel like that's a harder, like that's more of a tall order to do.
It's
Maybe if you do it in like that Star Ocean second story R thing that they did, like that really, like if they did that with Fantasia, I think that would be great. But
Fantasia or Destiny or Eternia.
yeah, but
My
like
thing is, I'm sitting here and I'm like, because I see all the time people are like, bring over the 2D games, like the ones that never came over. I'm like, I'm just sitting here going like, guys, don't expect any of the Team Destiny games. Like you're asking for a lot at that point.
yeah, like it's just it's a difficult one, especially when Tales isn't like one of like the biggest JRPGs. You know, like
No.
it's Final Fantasy, it's Dragon Quest. I think it's fair to say Persona has surpassed Tales in
Oh yeah.
popularity. Like like those
Even
ones are
back
gonna
then.
get, yeah,
Even
like
back
those
then.
ones are gonna get more, you know, TLC with their, you know, remasters and remakes and all that. I mean, all three of them have. So it's just not gonna be the same thing with the tail games, unfortunately. So I still think them doing a proper like Abyss remake or whatever like would be the right way to go, and I think people would like it.
Yeah.
Like if you
Like
just took, say, the Vesperia engine and made like the Vesperia Definitive Edition, right, and just made Abyss in that, I think people would be fine with it
yeah.
because it would
Or
fit right. It would fit right in with all of them. Like I didn't say Berseria because I think the gameplay in that one is different.
it's a different team because
Yeah,
I've said in the past like that there's been the two teams. There's Team Destiny did all the 2D games and Graces, and then there's Team Symphonia that did Symphonia, Abyss, Vesperia, Zelia, and then
yeah,
after Zelia they merged the two teams together, and then all the teams since have been the combined teams.
yeah. So you know they could definitely do that, and I mean it would be nice if people liked it. You know, I just have a feeling people wouldn't like it, even though I'm like it would fit in with all the remasters that they've done. If they did like the Abyss, you know, remastered, or like they just call it Tales of the Abyss remaster, but you look at it and you're like, no, they just remade this game like completely because it wasn't in this state before. You
I'd
know,
be okay with that, honestly. In all honesty, just port the PS2 version and fix the performance a little, and I'll be fine. Like,
I feel like most people would be so mad.
I mean, they're
Like
gonna be mad
An HD
regardless.
PS2, like an HD PS2 game, I don't think would cut it for most people. I wouldn't mind because if it's, you know, on there, I'd be like, okay, sure, you know. If we get past this remastered project and they don't do it, then I'll just emulate the PS2 version.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things because it's just
Yeah,
like to me, if they just port over the PS2 version and get, even if they have to get replacement actors, just voice the skits, please. Like that's all I really want. Because unfortunately, Abyss was the final game before they started voicing those in the US.
yeah,
So they're silent, which is a bummer because Abyss has some of the best skits in the series.
of
Um,
course you would say that.
it does because there's
I know, I'm just giving you shit.
Abyss just has, well, the thing about Abyss too is Abyss is the longest fucking game in the series. So it's
Yeah,
another hurdle they have to deal with.
yeah, but all these games are like 40, 50 hours long.
Yeah, but Abyss is longer. This is like 60 to 70.
Jesus Christ.
There's a
Of course
lot.
it is. Yeah, and then I don't even know why they did a random ass 3DS port of this game of all, like, none of the others I think released on the 3DS but this one.
No, I mean
Very weird.
It was probably an easy port job because it was just porting it over to similar hardware.
Yeah, but like, why didn't they just do Symphonia as well?
Good question.
I don't know. I don't know. Abyss just sits in that weird, like, it sits in the golden era of the Tales series, right? But like it's just in this very weird spot.
It's the most inaccessible at the moment, and that's kind of why it's the most inaccessible one that people know about. And that's kind of why it's got this weird aura around it right now.
Yeah. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll do what you did, or what you said they'll do, and that's they'll do Xillia 2, and then they'll end with Zestiria, and everyone will be like, "Fuck you."
If they end it with Zestiria and that's the last one, oh, the internet's going to implode. But I'm expecting it because that's just how seasoned Tales fans are. We just expect a disappointment most days.
Fair enough. But yeah, Berseria, coming out in February of next year, $40. I think I already have it on my wish list, so
I'll buy it when it goes on sale because I already have it on PS4.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I might ask for one of these. So they've done Symphonia, Xillia, and Graces. That's the three they've done.
Well, Vesperia was.
I already have Vesperia. Yeah. But of those, well, I won't count Symphonia because I know that's a bad. But between Graces and Xillia, which one should I go for?
You like Xillia more. Graces.
All right.
I love Graces, but Graces is weird. Like it is. You can tell it was not made by Team Symphonia. It was made by Team Destiny, and it shows.
Well, then I'll throw Xillia on the wish list and see if I get it.
Okay.
So there we go. And that's all the news. We talked a lot about Tales every time. We should just do like a Tales podcast where you force me to play every Tales game.
Just get Chris and everyone and be like, get Chris back into podcasting. We're doing a Tales podcast.
I think if we DM'd him being like, hey, would you want to do like a weird Tales of like podcasting? He'd probably be like, yes.
He probably would.
Though he would just want to play Abyss though. And he'd be like, all these other ones are shit.
I mean, me and him did the episode of GNC years ago, and we talked about pretty much all of them. He likes them all. He just
yeah. I loved that episode of you and him talking about Tales. I found it very informative.
The funniest part is when he's like, "I hate Graces." I'm like, "That's my second favorite one."
I mean, yeah. But with Graces being the weirder one, maybe it would be easier for me to appreciate because I don't have that connection.
True. So, I only say it's weird because gameplay wise, it's completely different. Like it is a weird game.
Interesting.
But it has like one of the best stories. That's kind of why I like it.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that is all the news. I said it'd be quick, and it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, that's just us. So yeah.
Do we have? Oh yeah, we got new Nintendo music.
Yeah,
right?
Nintendo music. That's right. I don't think it's super remarkable, but
fuck, it's Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh, okay. one of the new ones I didn't play.
It's got like 300 tracks.
Cool. Okay. I'll stick with Wii Fit.
At least that one's a little interesting.
That one I can just shame people with the fucking sound effect.
I have not played Mario Party Jamboree, so I can't.
The last Mario Party I played was 9, and I hated it, so I haven't played a new one since.
That was the first Wii one, right? I liked that one.
That was the second Wii one. The one that was the first one Hudson didn't do.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the last one Hudson did, that was like the first Wii one. I liked that.
Yeah, that was the one where that one's fun.
That was 8. That was 8.
8. Yep.
Yeah, I think 8's really good.
8 is good, but when you replay it now, you realize a lot of the game, the mini games are literally just whack off simulator.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
It's super. The soda can mini game is the dumbest one, but I love it.
I mean, yeah, an explosion happens. That's natural. It's just natural, Bill. Stop shaming me.
The train level's fun.
Anyway, speaking of shame, our game this week is Well, it's technically SimTower: The Vertical Empire. What a hard ass name. But it is in Japan. It was just published as The Tower.
That's also kind of a hard name. Like that name kind of goes kind of hard.
Yeah. So the 3DO connection to this is in March. So this game originally came out late 94, like November 94. But in Japan, it came out on the Sega Saturn and the 3DO in March of 1996. Now, with this being a Japanese only game, you have that worry of like, oh, do I need to worry about the text? Because, we're I don't speak Moon. I'm sorry. So I booted up the 3DO version of this, and it had a whole it had a whole intro cutscene, Japanese people talking and like movie trailer voice style thing. And I was like, oh, this has like its own vibe to it, right? And then I get into the game, and the controls are really weird and not. They tried their best to make it work with controller, but I just no. And then yeah, like barely any English text. So
Yeah, it's
no,
very
thank you.
it's very similar to a theme park where it's like they made a valiant effort, but it's just a game that does not work on consoles very well.
I mean, if I knew how to speak Japanese, I could probably try to figure it out, but didn't bother. So instead, I was like, well, then I'll just play the original PC version, which that has its own problems too, because it wasn't a game coded for DOS. It
Nope.
wasn't a game coded for Windows 95. This is 94. So it is coded to run in Windows 3 or 3.1 or whatever, which was their operating system right before 95.
Yep.
So if you've ever looked at Windows 3 or 3.1, it has all of the makings of what Windows would become, but it feels more like 80s Mac, in the comparison to how the OS looks.
You can
And
still tell it
also,
was built on DOS. Like it's very
yes, it's built directly on top of DOS, whereas Windows 95 is a whole other thing. But also Windows 3 is notoriously very difficult to get running by today's standards because, well, first of all, you have to have DOSBox if you want to emulate it to play DOS games. And then you have to install Windows 3 on top of DOS. And I was like looking at all these things on how to do it and all this other stuff. And I was like, is it really worth it for this fucking game? Like, it's just a lot to do. But I found that somebody had did all the work and just put it online. So if you just type in SimTower into like Google, probably one of the first results you'll get is, oh, just play it in your browser. And I was like, thank God, saved me all the fucking trouble. So I kind of got it to run on here, but my computer really didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It was kind of confused, so it just didn't really work out, unfortunately.
Yeah, because before
so
you just sent me that link, I was like straight up trying to brute force my way through the 3DO version by just guessing.
Oh no,
it wasn't going well. My buildings were not coming along.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I found that, just played it that way. It's a lot easier with a mouse. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Played a couple hours of it, and my takeaway is it's SimTower.
It's a sim game. Like it is. It's technically not a sim game, but it is because Max has published it, so they stuck the sim. It's kind of like a sim theme park kind of like situation where it wasn't technically made for the Sim series,
but because SimCity was out and was such a big deal, it fit in. And in a way, when you play the game, it feels like SimCity. It's the same kind of idea, but just broken down into just like one building, where it's like, oh, you have your industrial areas, you have your your transportation, your roads, all that kind of stuff. It's broken down into the tower. Like you have your lobby, you can have like apartment buildings, you can have office space, you can have restaurants, and then they'll automatically make stairs, but you're better off using, but I think those are just for like emergency purposes. You're better off just making the elevator so people can get to where they need to go. And you see all the hustle and bustle that happens. Like it's SimCity, but condensed into one building.
Yep.
Which is a really cool concept.
Yeah. And like you got to work on the infrastructure. You got to make sure everything flows properly and you got to keep the business going. And it's
exactly and you can't just make whatever the fuck weird shit you want. It just won't let you.
Yeah. It's not like Minecraft. You can't make whatever you want. It's because like people It's funny how SimCity is such a dead game at this point that
Yeah, EA kind of killed it though.
because like the last one that
But there's
really
what's it called? City Skylines,
City
which is
Skylines,
kind of taken SimCity and went with it, but they in a lot of ways like the 2 Point series kind of took some of that Sim stuff and ran with it.
yeah, Skyline is good. It's very it's basically like they took Skyline and just went unrestricted. I mean, they took SimCity and went unrestricted with it because it's like
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's
for
kind
the
of like
it's for the sickos.
it's kind of like playing like Planet Coaster now, where it's like you can tell Frontiers just was basically like we're gonna make Roller Coaster Tycoon unrestricted without any rules, and it's like
Yeah.
good for you guys.
And like my like love for like sim games really kind of starts and ends in like Roller Coaster Tycoon. So Planet Coaster is something that's a lot more appealing to me.
Oh yeah,
And I do think it's great. Though I hate fucking hate in Planet Coaster. There's like in the tutorial when you're like building a custom coaster, they have like these different bars to adjust like fear, excitement, that stuff. And they want you to make something that like fills it in a certain way. And I could never get it just right. And I was like, fuck this, Like I never really built coasters in those games. I would just use the pre-built stuff, build everything up, and just sit there and just let it do its thing.
yeah. It's kind of
And
like
then go ahead.
it's kind of because like my favorite sim Roller Coaster Tycoon game is Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, the one Frontiers fully
Yeah,
made.
that's a good one.
Like when that got ported to Switch, I was like, oh hell yeah! Like this.
Oh yeah, I have it on Switch. I've put like dozens of hours in that thing.
I put it when that came out. I put a good like 50 hours into it in like a sitting. So I was like,
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, especially when you just do the sandbox mode.
oh yeah, just
You
build
can
shit.
just build whatever the fuck you want and set shit up however you want. It's a great time. Love it.
Um,
So, but like, say like my experience with SimCity, um, the first time I ever played SimCity was for the PC. We had SimCity 3000,
oh,
and
that's interesting because 3000 is the one that kind of gets overlooked.
yeah, for some reason we just had like back in the day when we had our old shitty gateway PC with XP on it.
Hell yeah.
And that thing struggled to run games, like pretty noticeably struggled to run games. And I wasn't very tech savvy back then. I mean, I was only a kid, so I didn't understand how to like make things run better or whatever. And God forbid I would have learned how to open and modify that thing to put better shit in it. I just didn't know that stuff, and I didn't have people around me who knew that kind of stuff. So I just dealt with what I had. But SimCity 3000 ran just fine. I never had any issues with it. But it's a game that I remember when I was playing it, I liked the idea of it, but it was so complicated and so ridiculous, and I didn't have a basis for it at all. So I never got anywhere.
See,
I think it had like pre-built cities, and you could look at those, and I would see like all the crazy like sewer lines and the power lines and like all that incredibly detailed stuff that they had. And I noped out so hard. I was like, I give me Sonic. I don't need all
I want to
this.
go fast.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I had a similar thing because I had SimCity 4, which
Okay.
SimCity 4 is ridiculous. Like even back
Yeah.
then, it was ridiculous. Like that game struggles to run on modern computers. Like that game is almost too extra with because it's full
Yeah.
3D. Like it's everything is 3D models. Like you can like fucking modify the terrain. Like have like so much shit, and like it never ran good on my old Windows XP computer. I bought it on Steam because it's on Steam, and it plays like shit on the modern PC. Like it's one of those games that
Wow.
it's like Crisis. It just it never really runs well.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but playing that, I was always like, this is fun, but I'm terrible at it. And that's kind of my story with all sim games, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. Because eventually, when I learned about the famous Super Nintendo version of SimCity made by Nintendo,
Hmm.
out of curiosity, I went and checked it out, and I think why that version is so well liked is because it's a lot more simple.
Hmm.
Like, there's still a lot to deal with, and it's still like a sim game, but they break it down to kind of more the core elements of what makes it work. And obviously, it's tailor made for controller as well, so that's a game that's a lot more like beginner friendly, and
SimCity
also
2000 is fairly friendly as well.
yeah, and then like stuff like Roller Coaster Tycoon, I think is a lot more friendly as well because it's an easy thing to kind of figure out. It's just like, oh, like a theme park. What would you want in there? Like, how would you set it up? That kind of a thing. So, but Sim Tower feels like it leans more on the like the 3000 side,
It's
where
surprisingly complicated.
it just throws you into the game. Nothing. Like, just go for it, kid. Because they assume that you read probably the giant fucking manual that comes with the game to teach you how everything works. Though I will give the game credit, it's fairly intuitive. Like, it's not super complicated to figure out. It's just, oh, you have to have the lobby at the bottom, and then you can start putting whatever you fucking want on top of it. You can just kind of, again, you have to make everything structurally sound, but outside of that, you can just kind of go for it, and the game will just kind of fill in the little spots where it needs to. And yeah, I didn't think it was bad.
No, it's very well designed. It's very interesting because this was that pre-Sims era of Maxis where like there was a ton of these different like sim games. Like there was Sim
Oh
Earth,
yeah,
Sim Ant.
Ant.
Sim Ant
I've
is interesting.
I've always wanted to play like the weird ones, like Sim Ant and Sim World. Isn't Sim World just like Populous or whatever?
I believe so. It's there's that one. There's Sim Hospital. Now Sim Hospital is actually kind of boring. Um,
Yeah, like
but
if you want to play, if you want that, just play 2 Point Hospital.
or Theme Hospital by Bullfrog, which is the so Sim Health is like this weirdly like it's trying to be
I love it's called Sim Health. That's awesome.
yeah, it's trying to be this weird educational thing, and it's not very well thought of. Um,
Yeah,
Bullfrog's version of Theme Hospital is like goofy as fuck, and that's why it was more popular.
yeah. Let's see. There's Sim Refinery, which might just be that there's that one like sim game that's like a refinery based thing that people talk about. You play that and you put 10,000 hours in it without thinking. Like I forget
Yeah,
what that game's called. Yeah, there's oh yeah, the one I really want to play is Sim Golf. Like of
Sim
course.
Golf.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, there's Sim Golf and then there's Sid Meier's Sim Golf. Fire Axis did one as well. Um and I think they're a case of like yeah, you like design golf courses, but like you can also play them, you know? Like it's on my abandonware. I've been meaning to download it and give it a try
There's
just to
also
see if it like because I feel like that would fit if my weird sicko brain of liking golf games, but I don't know.
famously Sim Town, which was the Sims. If Sim City's too difficult for you, here's the baby version, which
Yeah,
is still which is
honestly,
still
that sounds perfect for me. I would play the hell out of a
the,
SimTown.
the only reason I remember Sim Town is mostly for the Brutal Moose
There,
review.
there's Sim Farm, which is just Stardew
Sim
Valley
Farm. Yep. Sim Life, which was like a prequel to
to The Sims. Dude, there's a game called Streets of Sim City, and it says it's like a vehicular combat game.
oh, that game runs like shit, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that sounds. Oh yeah, there was SimCity 64 on the N64 DD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sim Park, where you could build a wildlife sanctuary.
Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna talk about all the fucking sim games.
Sim
Simcopter.
2, Simcopter, which I think actually was canceled.
Yeah, it says it came out.
Oh no, it did come out. It was supposed to come out for the DD. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, there's just all these crazy, wacky sim games over the years.
You know what I love
Uh,
too is that Jerry Martin did all these soundtracks, and like his Sims One soundtrack is like one of the greatest things ever.
that's awesome. That's
Sim
awesome.
Isle.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm pretty sure like all of these games, if you're interested in any of them, viewers, just go to my abandonware, and you'll probably find them all. Because like EA is basically abandoned the entire thing. They don't give a shit about them anymore. Like
do you remember when they?
I'm sure some of them are on Steam or even GOG, but I don't know. But the thing is, if you go to my abandonware, if there's a game you're not sure about and say it is available on GOG or Steam, they'll just send you to that link. That's one thing I kind of appreciate about them is that if the game is legally available, they're just like, oh, just go here and buy it.
Hmm.
Because in a way, that's so they don't get in trouble.
Do you remember when EA also brought back the the Sim series for that one-off Sim Animals game on Wii?
Vaguely, vaguely, and then there was like that My Sims. sub
So,
series that got a fucking Switch port recently.
so my Sims was like Animal Crossing Sims.
That's what it looked like to me. Yeah.
There's also the Sims Medieval, which is something.
I think you're about to say shit.
I've never played it, so I didn't want to say shit because I've never played it.
Yeah, I haven't played
Um,
any of these games either, so I can't say. Like
there was
again, I think the Sims or like that, like that whole Sim, like Sim City, The Sims, all that stuff. I think it's a series that all of us have kind of had like crossings with, like we've all kind of, I think all of us have played a Sim game before,
yeah,
but um, but very few of us get like really hooked into them, But I could see SimTower hooking people into it, because it again probably similar to like a sim town or something like that. Like you're not worried about a whole city or it feels like it's overwhelming. It's all just kind of condensed into this one building and making it all work. Though I've seen like videos and screenshots where like people make their tower and it's this fucking massive thing with all the shit going on, and I feel like that would just as much overwhelm anybody.
it is. This is one of those games where like this. It's kind of like you with Power Wash Simulator. There are people that this is probably their game, and they just play
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. I 100% believe that. Yeah.
Because I can see it. It's very compelling. Like for me, the only sim game I truly ever became like I was obsessed with was The Sims 2 and Sims 1 to a lesser degree.
I
Um,
played a lot of Sims 1, and every time I get I look at my Steam list because I have the Sims 1 Legacy Edition on there. I'm still waiting for it to get to a good sale. It's still not there yet. Like right now, I think it's like $14 as opposed to 20, and I'm like, not enough yet. I need to be under 10. When it's under $10, I jump on it, and then I will play through Sims 1 again.
yeah, because it's
I'm just waiting, patiently waiting.
so we've kind of glossed over it, but one of the things about SimTower or the Sim series in general, that's very interesting is despite Maxis being displayed on most of these games and then EA later on, they weren't really involved with a lot of them. A lot of these games were made by different studios, and Maxis just kind of licensed out the Sim branding.
Yeah. Though I get the sense games like SimTower and all these were influenced by
Oh yeah,
SimCity and being like taking that concept and doing something different with it. Like easily somebody playing SimCity and then being like, "Oh, what if we did that but it was just one building, SimTower?" And then Maxis is like, "Oh, we'll publish that." Sure.
yeah.
But you
So
wanted to talk about the developer of this game.
yes, so the developer of this game is known as Open Book, but Open Book is just a name to put on the case. The actual guy behind this game was uh, Yatuka Yoot Saito, or just Yoot Saito as he goes by, um, who is a very interesting guy in the grand scheme of like gaming. Like he's worked on a lot more stuff than you'd expect, but he's mostly known for Sim Tower, and then later he basically continued the series on after Sim Tower, but calls it Yoot Tower after himself, which is kind of
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, I love the cover for Yoot Tower. I guess it was published by Sega after that. But
Yeah,
the cover of it is just a building, a giant, assuming a giant building, because on top of it is a whole ass baseball stadium.
it's bust. Yeah, it is
And I'm
lovely.
like, we're leaning into that. And like even looking at screenshots of Yoot Tower, like I almost considered playing that for this,
Mm,
considering it was similar, but then looking at them like, oh, it's a lot different actually. Like it's the same thing, but they really lean into the wackiness. Like there's like a lunar base. There's like other areas. Like you can like the Statue of Liberty is like an expansion. And I'm
yep.
like, am I building a tower inside the Statue of Liberty? Like that's let's go.
He also made the Tower SP, which is a port of Sim Tower for Game Boy Advance.
I've seen it before. In my GBA collecting days, I do remember seeing this game and it being like, I think it's one of those games that's like, I think it's dirt cheap these days,
Hmm.
but I always kind of skipped it because I was like, I don't know, because I see Sim and go, I don't know.
And then he also made the tower. He also ported the tower for DS, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, SimCity got a DS port as well. Like, I'm surprised there weren't more Sim games on the DS. Seemed like a perfect console
Well,
for them.
there was The Sims 2, which was like Hotel Simulator, which is the funniest thing ever. Now, what I wanted to bring up though is he is also famous for creating one of the most infamous slash iconic games on the Dreamcast, Seaman.
Fucking Seaman. I have Seaman actually.
I do as well. With the microphone and everything, and it kind of works.
I have the microphone as well. Oh, that's Shenmue. Why'd I pull out Shenmue? Oh, there it is. Sorry, Shenmue jump scare. There it is. I have the microphone as well. It's down. It's down in my stuff somewhere. Though the problem with playing Seaman, if you want to play it on original hardware, is I believe it's the only Dreamcast game that uses the internal clock.
Yep.
And for most people, that is dead now.
Uh-huh.
And replacing the battery on the Dreamcast is like you need to like solder that thing out, which really sucks because the Saturn, if you remember, if you want to swap the battery on that, you just pull that little back cover off and plop it off and pop a new one in, which is a shame. So it's like I have this game because I wanted to play it because I've never played Seaman before, and I played it for a bit, but I didn't feel confident in my playthrough because it wouldn't save anything. And because the clock was dead, there were like time-based things I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the game was just like, we don't really know what to do.
So, it's one of those
unfortunate shame. You have to emulate it. You just have to.
Yep. There was also that game was also ported for PS2, famously, and the PS2 version came with a special controller with a microphone built into it.
I've seen it online. I've never seen that in person. My guess is that Seaman 2 port is just kind of rare these days.
So, fun fact, when Alex went to Japan for her school study, she actually found a copy of it in a retro game store, and she was like, "Would you want this?" And I was kind of like, I was tempted, but I was like, I don't have a Japanese PS2, so she instead got me a Japanese Saturn controller and some Saturn games. But
nice.
They apparently are pretty common in Japan. And there was also Seaman 2. Don't panic.
I've never played Seaman. I didn't even know they did a Seaman 2.
Yep. It literally says "Don't panic" on the cover.
I think because they didn't expect people to do that, I guess.
Yeah. And then the only other game he worked on is a game that I have seen before but never touched. Odama on GameCube.
I have played Odama.
How is it?
I never owned it for GameCube, unfortunately. I have the GameCube microphone somewhere because I bought it for when I played Mario Party 7 and messed around with that. But yeah, Odama, it's just a pinball game. It has really cool aesthetic to it because it's like, Shogun Army stuff. And the microphone, you use it to like direct soldiers.
Because it says it has like a tactical aspect to it.
Yeah, because you use the triggers to like, aim the ball to like take out other enemies, and then you kind of have to maneuver your troops. Like emulating it's a little funky, but but probably next time I do it, I should probably hook this microphone up to it so then I can have that experience, using the microphone and with the controller to kind of get it. But I mean, what I played of Odama, I'm like, this is neat. It is pretty neat, but it's one of those things I'm imagining playing it on hardware. How would you do it? Because you have the controller and then you have to, I guess, pick up the microphone to talk into it, then put it down. Again, I don't know.
It's not an expensive game, so that might actually.
No, it's not. But because you need the microphone. I can't imagine the GameCube microphone is expensive, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong about that before.
It annoys me. I hope it's not because fucking GameStops used to have those things in fucking bargain bins for like $5.
Yeah, I do remember those.
And I was always like, I don't need that dumb thing. No, I don't have one.
I know. We always used to say like, "Oh, who wants that dumb shit?" And now we're older and we're like, "I want that dumb shit."
It's around $11 to $14. Yeah, it's not expensive.
Nothing. Go grab it. Yeah. I have one here. I have one here somewhere.
Probably thousands of them just sitting around. So
yeah, because it was Mario Party 6 also had the microphone, right?
6 is the one that introduced it, and then
Yeah, and they had it in
7 also
7.
used it.
I think didn't 6 come with it? Like the microphone came with it?
Yes, and I think there was a
Okay.
WarioWare that also might have used it. Maybe.
Well, there was only one WarioWare for the GameCube, and it was essentially like a weird port of the original one on GBA. That was
Okay,
it.
so maybe not.
Yeah. I don't even think the microphone was there. I mean, it would make sense to use it because I remember when I got it and I used it, I didn't think it was, I didn't know how it worked, because it's like this weird, it almost looks like a room mic or like a Sennheiser type of a deal. So like you can't like you can talk into it and all this stuff, but it has like the button. It's weird. You'll hold the button, you'll say something into it, and then the game takes a second and goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So it's very crude in that way.
Yeah.
And I imagine if I go to YouTube, there might have been somebody who's like, "Oh, I recorded like drums using the GameCube microphone." I'm sure that's a thing.
Yeah, it's like all the.
I imagine people are curious to the audio quality that thing even has.
It's like the early day of Let's Plays where everyone was using fucking Rock Band mics, and you could tell.
Those like cheap USB microphones. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you use what you got.
Oh yeah. No, we all started somewhere.
That we did. So yeah, Yoot Saito. Yeah, I never thought the guy who made Odama made SimTower and Seaman by
and
that.
Seaman.
Yeah,
Like apparently he still works on Yoot Tower too, because I think it still gets updates to this day.
that's awesome. Good for him.
Like he made a game that I'm sure is somebody's game.
Apparently, he is credited with adding the speaker to the Wii remote.
Huh.
That's according to Wikipedia.
Is it funny that like that I forget that thing exists all the time until because usually I just turn it off because it fucking kills the battery. But
yeah,
the one game that I always remember it in is fucking No More Heroes because you have those cell phone segments where you have to like hold it up to your ear.
that's cool. I like
And
that.
if you're let's playing the game, it's literally just silence for like 20 minutes because it doesn't pick that up.
That's awesome. And looking at Saito's Moby Games, the only other game he has any credit on, funnily enough, is D2.
I noticed that.
But it's just for like a thank you. So,
Huh.
yeah, Saito, he just seems like a Japanese creator or a game designer who just had a lot of really weird, wacky ideas, but he never really was able to do a lot. Looking at what he's been able to do, I'm like, man, I would have been curious to see what other weird shit he'd come up with. But, I mean, hey, but he also seems like a guy who could come out of nowhere with like some weird ass game on like Steam.
Oh yeah.
No,
it's like he's one of those devs that just kind of like got pigeonholed himself into like this one spot. But I'm sure he probably had. I'm sure if he had unlimited funding, he could like come out with something great. Which, knowing him, would probably just be SimTower again. But
I mean, a big old 3D SimTower would be interesting.
That would be nuts, like a 3D tower builder.
Yeah, with more detail in there.
I am surprised that hasn't been a thing yet, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe he's just one of those guys who's like, I don't like 3D.
Yeah, I mean it does tend to make a lot of these older games unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah. But yeah, he definitely has like a wacky vibe to him. For some reason, he reminds me of Tetsuya Mitsuguchi, the Tetsuya Fat guy.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me he got thanked in D2 because he kind of gives me a Kenji Eno vibes.
Yeah, and also Mizuguchi got a thank you in D2 as well. So maybe the D2 thank you is like a who's who of weird Japanese game developers.
Well, they're all friends, so like a lot of them.
Oh yeah. These guys are all just like, just hanging out at like a ramen shop, being like, I got this crazy idea, where it's like Lemmings, but you just control people, but you're using like a dog made of light to control people. And they're like, whoa, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Or like it's Tetris, but it's like colors, man.
It's Tetris, but it's a visual and audio experience.
Yeah, and it makes it the best version of Tetris ever. It's so good. I love it.
I know. Actually, I'm actually due for a Tetris Effect playthrough. But,
No, it's so good, and then he's doing it also with Luminous, with Luminous Arise.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
which
forward to
I
that.
missed. I missed the demo because it was like a limited time demo thing, but it looks just as cool.
You know what he's gonna do? Bring back sound shapes. I think that
No, I want like columns. Do this with columns, please.
columns,
I would
plaques.
lose my shit. I mean, he has connections to Sega,
Give
so
give give
he
me
he
like
worked on
fucking.
Sega Rally. Okay,
I
so
want
he's got
clap.
good. He's in my good graces.
I want clacks effect. God damn it! It'd be so stupid.
Why not? Clax effect.
It'd make it
Oh,
even
that's
more
awesome.
confusing to play.
You
uh,
figure it out. It has a bit of a learning curve, but it's not as bad as some
Clacks
people
is a
say.
game that stresses people out. I've noticed because it gets very
Yeah,
stressful as you go on.
yeah. I think it's just because it has its weird logic and rules. Like it's
Yeah,
not a very universal type of puzzle game. Like columns, I think is easier. Like if to go from Tetris to columns, they are different, but there's enough similarities there to where you figure it out.
yeah.
But also like Luminous was something that took me a while. I still don't feel like I'm great at Luminous.
No,
Like there's that constant line and I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing combos? Like, and then I try and I fuck it up. Like, I don't know, I'm not good at that game, but it's fun. I like playing it.
it's like it reminds me of like Fantavision. Like if you remember Fantavision,
No, I don't.
it was that really early PS2 puzzle game that was like fireworks and shit.
I don't think I ever played it.
I,
It sounds familiar. Now that you bring it up.
it's not amazing, but it's kind of interesting. That was like the best way to
Yeah,
describe it.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure you have it in your collection.
Oh yeah, it was a legit $2. um,
I I feel like you of all people would be the guy who's like, I just own every PS2 game. I don't know how it happened.
there's too many, man. There's
I
too
know
many.
there's like almost 2,000 or something like that,
Yeah,
which is weird because like the modern platforms these days have way more games than that, but like a good chunk of them are digital.
yeah,
Whereas PS2, all those weird games got a fucking disc printed,
yeah, and
all of
that's
them.
not. And that's like not even counting just in America. There's also like the Japanese games, the European only one.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
lot.
oh yeah. I'm sure if you go on YouTube and I'm like, type in like complete PS2 collection, there's probably that one guy who like
Oh
just
yeah,
has this whole house of PS2 games. I'd be like, you know what? If you're gonna collect for one system, that's the one to go for because
it's
then
like
you just have everything.
it's like the dude with like the Wii U. Actually, no, that's Scott the Woz. What am I talking about? The guy with
Does
the
he
guy.
own every? I'm assuming he has every Wii U game
Well,
now.
he's still doing his Wii U arc. Like he's finishing that up pretty soon. So,
Oh yeah, I forgot he was only in the middle of that.
actually, off topic, but this reminded me. You know the YouTuber Jack's Films?
Yeah, he did a video with Scott.
Yeah, he did that whole. It's the questions get worse.
I didn't. I haven't watched it though, but I saw it.
So I'll spoil one of the worst questions just because it relates to our show. Um, he one of his bad questions was someone had asked if he could relate a console, like make a console like a person, which console would be one of the people at January 6th?
Yeah.
And he said the 3DO. And I was just like, no, like leave it alone.
I could see that.
He said the 3DO, the Ouya, the OnLive, and the 7800 for some reason. I was just like, God damn it.
I
What?
don't. I don't. I don't agree with all of those. I will say the Jaguar wasn't at January 6th, but is like an online shit poster who tries to convince people they were.
It was there. I was there, man.
Yeah, that like the Jag has like it's a poser. You know, Jaguar's
Yeah.
a poser. I'm sorry, Alex, but it just has that vibe to it.
For some reason I feel like he was going to say Jaguar, but he just said 7800 instead.
Yeah, because I think it was too obvious.
Just when he immediately said 3DO, I was like, God damn it.
See, at first I thought you were gonna say somebody asked him about our podcast, and I'd be like,
No,
what?
no, no. I just the one mention of 3DO in that entire thing was that question.
I feel like the chances of Scott the Wasp stumbling upon our show is not a 0% chance.
I mean, there's not a lot of 3DO media out there, so it's very possible if he ever does a 3DO episode, you never know.
Could you imagine? Like you wake up one day and you get a DM and it's from Scott, And he's like, I'm doing like a 3DO episode, and you guys seem to know a lot about it. Can you help me out?
That
Could
would
you
be something.
imagine? Could you
I
imagine?
I wouldn't believe it. Like I straight up wouldn't believe it.
Well, you check to where it's from, and it's like, oh, this is from his official page. Though
Yeah.
I think he just has Twitter. I don't think he has anything else. Or no,
Yeah.
he might have like an Instagram or something like that. But
Well,
so.
he's got his employees too that or his friends technically that probably do a lot of
There's
that
there
stuff.
is employees now. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
He said that in the episode.
Yeah, you pay them.
See, I'd honestly, even if we just got an offhand mention, I'd be happy with that.
Well, you would notice our viewership would spike.
Yeah,
It would. It would. He has that kind of clout.
he does because he's the one gaming YouTuber that is like uncontroversial and somehow manages to stay relevant.
Yeah, even though he just doesn't do nearly as much as he used to. But
Well, because he does like bigger projects now.
yeah, I did love his Lego Games episode. That was great.
Hmm.
So, but anyways, what were we talking about? SimTower?
Yeah, we were wrapping that up.
Yeah,
Reception.
but SimTower, yeah. What did people think of it?
Mostly positive reviews. I can't find a single review for the 3DO version.
That's fine.
I'm sure the reviews were probably like it's SimTower on 3DO. Okay, I will say so you know how we have the dumbest rating scales ever?
Yes, we do.
You remember that magazine
Proud.
Dragon that we talked about a while back?
Vaguely.
It was like some weird tabletop Dungeons and Dragons magazine, but it did game reviews.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. What about
so I don't know what their review said, but their rating they gave the game was 3 and 3.5 of 5.
What were there two reviewers, and that's just what they both gave it?
I don't know. that's what it says on the little table here, and I'm just like, okay. Other than that, like All Game gave it a 4 out of 5. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B minus. I love when it's like a weird like out there
Entertainment
thing. Like
Weekly.
Yeah. And then Next Generation gave it 2 out of 5 for the Mac version.
Yeah, I mean this has the vibe of like a Mac game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, where it's like we couldn't get Sim City, but we got SimTower. It's like, okay, good for you.
It's like most sim games, like early sim games, like not like nowadays with the amount of tycoon games there are, where they're pretty much there is a fan base for these games, and they're generally well received.
Oh yeah,
but not by everybody. It's very much a if it's your thing, it's your thing kind of game.
Yeah, it's a game that's like a really neat concept, and I do like the idea of it. But I just don't know if it's ever really like most sim games. I don't really know if it's ever anything I'm going to put substantial time into. You know?
No, because there's a few that I can do. Like I said, like Sims 2, Sims 1, like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, that I can just like sit down and play for hours.
Yeah, or even say like Civilization Revolution. Like that's really good because it's just dumbed down Civ for console. Love it.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
Like little games like that, like I could fuck with like this. If I had the time to learn the mechanics, I'm sure this could be a game that I could spend hours in.
Yeah,
I just don't have the time.
Though, just out of curiosity, there is a sort of spiritual successor version of this, a game called Project High Rise. And looking at it, it's essentially like SimTower, but a bit more modern.
I think Lazy Game Reviews talked about it in a video because this game's right up his alley. But
yeah, and seeing this version of it, I'm like, oh, this looks a lot more appealing. I guess it's probably a little bit easier to get into. So
yeah, it's probably like City Skylines where they kind of dumb it down and make it make sense, even though it's somehow more complicated at the same time.
Yeah, like literally the first review I see of it is Project High Rise is the game that SimTower should have been.
Which
I'm like, oh well, you know, that I mean, there's a good almost 30 years of or 20 plus years of difference in the time frame, so a lot happens. And High Rise probably took what made SimTower work and didn't work, and did different things with it.
And I'm assuming that's a reviewer who doesn't know Yoot Tower exists, because apparently Yoot Tower does fix a lot of problems from SimTower.
It's a game. It is somebody called Gaming Trend.
Yeah, so
In fact,
Who
Lazy
knows?
Game Reviews is in the top reviews for this one.
Oh, is he?
So yeah, so he seems happy with it. So there you go. Yeah.
Oh.
And it also has console releases, but I feel like this is a game they'd be like, I'll play this on my computer.
Yeah, this is a PC coded game.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah. So I guess for must play, okay, stay away. I'm gonna say it's definitely not a stay away. It's a very competent game. Um, I'm not gonna say must play because, like we said, it is very much a. It depends on your preference kind of game. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna say it's definitely an okay. Um,
I wouldn't say must play. I would maybe go like check it out. Like if
yeah,
anything about SimTower that we said sounds interesting or appealing to you, then go check it out. You know,
yeah,
though maybe play like Yoot Tower or Project High Rise instead, because those are probably just easier to get running these days.
yeah,
But it looks like they're still the same idea. So if that sounds appealing to you, it's definitely worth it. I liked it for what it was.
yeah.
You
No,
know, not
it's
maybe not
competent.
necessarily my thing, but why not?
Yeah,
Go for it, man.
I'm gonna say give it a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a capital okay,
yeah,
not a lowercase, an uppercase okay.
yeah. So yeah, this episode went way longer than we expected, but that's honestly
Why not? Who cares?
should be expected at this point.
Yeah, who gives a
Um,
shit?
I don't know what we're gonna play next week. We'll probably talk about that off camera.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I haven't even thought about it.
yeah, we got Thanksgiving on the brain.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the 3DO experience. You can find the 3DO experience on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly the usuals. Um, just all it's on everything. Um, but be sure to check us out on Superpod Network. Awesome place, whole bunch of awesome, great people. And the next episode of Thrak Ops should be next week.
Yes, that should be out next week. It's recorded. I'm in the process of editing it. Editing's gone fairly smoothly, so I'll have that done sometime this week, and it'll be out next week. And then
Nice.
hopefully again, I'm trying to get back into that cadence of doing them more frequently. So, once I clear out some other podcast content stuff I'm working on, those should probably start to come out more frequently, because I want to get them done so I can get that caught up. So then when a brand new one comes out, I can do it a little bit more timely.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like Black Ops 7 is great podcast content, but that won't be until summer of
Yeah.
next year. So stay tuned.
I hear you. And if, like we said earlier, be sure to check out our appearance over on Remember 64 if you want the second half of our crossover, as we're calling it. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Bye bye.